we'll just start with an opening statement. We'll just go down the road here. Jalen, starting with you, and I'll ask you to tell everybody what's been the highlight of your bowl week experience so far since you've been here in Atlanta.
I'd say the highlight has been, just to experience all these good things they have for us. I mean, they've done a great job of showing us out and, allowing us to have a good experience. But like I said over there, one of my great memories was going to get Popeyes the other night. I was kind of hungry, and it was really good.
All right. OJ?
Like Jalen said, I think the whole experience has been great. One that stands out the most was last night we got a chance to visit Ebenezer Baptist Church, where Martin Luther King Jr. grew up and was the pastor there. And just reliving that whole civil rights movement, and just thankful for all they did for us. It was one of my best experiences so far.
Cam?
I think just overall, just being here with my brothers, man, just anytime, we can come to a bowl game, just go, things like Topgolf, Ebenezer about the church with these guys, it's just things that later on you're going to look back and you're going to cherish, the time, those type of times that we have had. So, I mean, we still come here, we still ultimately got one goal in mind, and so, but so far that's probably been the best part for me.
Bradley?
Like Cam said, it's been a great opportunity to come here and, be with my family. And, it's just blessed to be in this opportunity and, just have to finish out what we started. And, I think probably my best time here so far is probably Topgolf last night.
All right, thanks, guys. All right, we'll open up questions. Barrett, we'll start with you.
Barrett Silly, Bleacher Report. Jalen, just overall first impressions of Steve Sarkisian being your offensive coordinator and how similar he is to Lane Kiffin.
He's a talented guy. He has a great track record, and I think he'll do a great job here. I mean, I have a lot of respect for him because I know what he's done, the quarterback he's had. So I think he'll be fine.
All right, next question. You raise your hand. We'll get you a microphone. All right, back here in the back with Marty, please.
Good morning, gentlemen. Jalen, what were those rides like in the red truck to and from school and practice with your dad back in Texas? And what lessons during those conversations you guys had stick with you now that made you the person you are now?
Those experiences were, experiences that I'll never forget in life. He's done a great job of grooming me into the man I am now, young man I am now. And like I said, driving home from practice after watching some film and Big Red, it was all good. We talked football, but once we stepped in that garage, let the garage up, it all came to an end.
I got another one.
You got Marty? Go ahead, Marty.
Sorry. He told me a great story about when you first came up to varsity. He was all over you, man, all over you, and you never flinched. He said it drove him crazy, and after about 3 days, he stopped getting on you because he'd go watch film and realize he was wrong and you were right. What within you gives you that ability to be that poised, even at that age?
Well, people talk about how poised and how relaxed I am on the field, but I think all that comes from him. Because I told him the other day when I went home, I said, I am my father's child. And that is true. He's groomed me into the person I am. He's humble. He's a competitor. And I think I resemble him in all ways, really.
Michelle, right behind you there.
Nicole Auerbach, USA Today. For the older players, a couple of guys yesterday were talking about how they sort of caught themselves sounding like Nick Saban when they went home to their family or something and someone caught them talking about the process. Has that happened to you guys? Do you guys pick up characteristics from your head coach?
Bradley, you want to start with that?
Go ahead. Yeah, I actually catch myself all the time sounding like Coach, but he's right though. This is a process, and we have to buy into what he says, and everything works out.
All right, Cam.
Yeah, it's funny because in the other room I was doing interviews, I wasn't I was just talking and the process just kept slipping out of my mouth. I wasn't even necessarily trying to use it, but I mean, I think that's just how Coach Saban, he's groomed us so much, and he's drilled into our mind, you know, the things that we need to know to be successful. We're probably like just mini Sabans running around, and probably not as intense, but I mean, yeah, he rubs off on us a lot.
OJ?
Yeah, I would say the same. You know, I found myself the other day just back home for Christmas break, and you know, our team, we have a saying, "Be where your feet are," you know, and you know, my mom was talking about, you know, some later on in the week, and I was like, "Mom, let's just be where our feet are. Take your time, and we're gonna take it one day at a time." So, I just take little sayings that we take as a team, and just, you know, I found myself saying it back home because it's really things that you can use in your life every day.
All right, we'll go right here on the front right.
Kerry Clark, BamaMag.com. This one is for Cam and Bradley both. And I know y'all kind of went through this 2 years ago with Blake Sims, but just tell us what it's like as an offensive lineman blocking for a guy that can buy time with his speed.
I mean, it definitely makes it easier on us in pass pro. You know, we don't give up as many sacks because he can kind of get out of there. But, you know, having a guy like Jalen and how composed he is and the athlete that he is really makes it easier on us. It kind of makes the defensive ends play contain, and, you know, they can't really rush as hard as they want to because they're worried about him scrambling out of the pocket and running the ball. You know, it's been a really good advantage for us to have Jalen and his athletic abilities.
I mean, just like Bo said, he does a great job. If you do just so happen to, you know, get beat on the rip or anything like that, he does a great job of you know, getting out of the pocket and kind of avoiding pressure. So it kind of covers up for mistakes sometime or anything like that. So you know, I mean, it's a great addition to the offense for to be able to do that.
All right, next question here, left side on the aisle.
Noah Mandela, WTBY Dothan. Cam, this question's for you. A rocky off-season with the Chargers. How have you used that lesson to grow as a leader on your team?
I just looked at it as, you know, guys, you know, gonna fall and gonna bump their head. Just use it as a lesson learned. When I came back, you know, when I got back, all my brothers had my back. You know, they told me they had, you know, complete confidence and complete trust in me. So just use it as, you know, just grow, just take it and, you know, learn from it, grow up from it. You know that you can't let those type of mistakes happen, you know, in the future.
All right, right behind you on aisle 3.
Maria Martin, WSFA. This is for the older guys. Typically, it's your job to be great leaders for the freshmen and teach them things, but what are some of the things that Jalen has taught each one of you this year?
I'm gonna take that question first because I know sometimes in the past, sometimes if things weren't going as well as it needs to be, I was the type that would get frustrated. I wanted to click like immediately, and I wanted to happen now. But you know, Jalen he does a great job. You know, when we come to the sideline, if things aren't going as well as they need to be going, he does a great job. You know, just making sure we stay calm and just stay the course. You know, just keep chopping wood and just keep doing what we're doing, and you know, we'll get on track, and eventually we'll get some things going on offense.
Yeah, for me, you know, everything on offense, you know, doesn't always click. You know, it's football. You know, you have bad plays, and sometimes we have 3 and outs. You know, I'm kind of, you know, frustrated. Other guys frustrated. But honestly, man, we just look over at Jalen. He the quarterback. He's calm. He's chill. You know, I think if it's a quarterback, it's good. You know, we all should be good. So I think that's really the biggest lesson. You know, I've learned from Jalen. Honestly, just chill, just relax. You know, we know what we got to do, and I think I see it on his face all the time. So I like that from him.
Probably just his confidence. You know, he's always confident in the huddle, and you know, no matter what happens. I remember Ole Miss, we gave up a sack, and I think everybody knows it. Sorry about that again, Jalen. But you know, he came to us and, you know, told us that he had our backs, and he knew that we had his backs. You know, so that's probably the biggest lesson I've learned from him.
All right, over here, right side in the middle.
Jalen, having played in some pretty tough environments this season, some road environments, Ole Miss, Tennessee, LSU, obviously. How does that help you, and then with the SEC championship here in Atlanta, how does that help you in terms of your experience, staying grounded, not getting awed by the big stage as the stakes get higher and higher here over the next 1, maybe 2 games?
When I touch the field, I have to get comfortable and get a feel for the game. But as far as the environments I played in, I think the loudest was Arkansas, because that first play, it was just wow. It was the first time I've ever experienced that. But I think after that Ole Miss game, which was pretty loud, I settled down and I'm like, well, I don't think it can get any worse than this. And I felt that's how I uphold it throughout the season.
All right, up here, row 2.
Jalen, this question's for you. Back in the spring game, you were the only one to throw a touchdown during that game. Was it at that moment that you maybe thought that you'd be able to win the job early on in the year?
No. I don't think one touchdown could give a person a job. It comes from practice. You know, what do you do on this rep? How are you getting better or are you getting worse? And I guess I was improving. I gained the respect of my teammates, won the team over, so here I am.
All right, next question, please. Anything else? All right, let's go Catherine, all the way in the back right.
Jalen, Jesse Merrick, Way 31 in Huntsville. When looking at this Washington defense on tape, you know, they lead the country in takeaways. In your mind, what is it that's enabled them to create turnovers like that?
Can you repeat your question? I can hear you.
This Washington defense leads the nation in turnovers. From your mind, watching them on tape, what is it that's enabled them to create turnovers like that?
Well, they're ball hawks. They're fast. They play smart. And they do what they do well. So we just have to come out and execute our game plan, play our game, and see what happens.
All right, time for a couple more. All right, right over here.
Washington's only loss this season was to USC, and they kind of ran similar way of offense as you guys do. Did you learn anything? Did you see anything from the way USC was able to exploit that tough defense, and what can you use from that game and apply it to this one?
Well, USC resembles us, but we resemble each other in many ways. So I think we'll try and attack them similar like they did, but we just have to go out and play.
All right, all the way in the back here.
Chris Brees, CBS 42 in Birmingham. Bradley, you smiled and laughed a little bit when you said Topgolf last night was your favorite memory, and I think a couple other guys chuckled too. What was so funny?
I kind of got hit in the head with a ball. Yeah, the cart that picks up the golf balls was coming by and right in front of the slot where we tee off at, and someone decided to hit the ball. Thought it was a good idea to hit the ball, and it popped off and topped me in the head. So.
All right, Marty.
For Jalen again. Jalen, Coach Kiffin was just in here. Excuse me, you got me choked up. Coach Kiffin was just in here and said, I guess he went down to Channelview and worked you out in the spring before you came to Bama. And said he went back to T-Town and said that kid's a first-round draft pick. What do you remember about that workout that day?
Well, me and Ashton Turner, one of my running backs at the time, we went out there and got pulled from like 5th period or so. Went to the field. He said, well, Kiffin, my dad said Kiffin's here. So, okay. I'm like, oh, wow. So I went over there and threw for him, and I impressed him. And for him to say that meant a lot to me. But like I said, hype is nothing to me. Just it's about what you do on the field.
All right, we got time for one or two more. Where are we going? All right, let's go up here in the third row up here front, please. Go ahead, Jeff.
Jeff Spiegel, WBMA Birmingham. Jalen, you mentioned a while ago that you won the team, and Coach Saban, talks about that, winning the team, the quarterback winning the team, how important that is. At what particular moment in the season, or what game do you think you actually did win the team? And OJ, maybe you could talk about that too.
Well, I think that was done before the season with the workouts, and I guess they just saw a dog mentality in me. And one of my teammates said, and I said it over there, a guy can have it. Ardare Stewart, he has it. You don't know what it is, but he has it. He's a ball player. And I just think that's how they felt about me.
OJ?
Yeah, I would think it was before the season, like Jalen was saying. I can remember a particular day, honestly, we were in fall camp, and we were on the field, and I think Jalen had just threw an interception, but he came over to the sideline, and I was standing nearby. I wasn't really in the conversation, but it was him, one of our strength coaches. And, Jalen was just, that's when we found out he was just so composed. It didn't let him rattle him or anything. And he said, I'm going to bounce back. I'm good. He said, I'm going to be all right, coach. And, Jalen went out the next drive. We threw us a touchdown drive with the first team offense. And that's when I knew that Jalen was, he was like the guy. He was like, yeah, this kid don't get rattled. He settled down easily. And that's the moment I thought I knew he was going to be the quarterback.
That was smooth. All right, AP, go ahead.
AP Stedham, BamaMag.com. This question's for Cam and Bradley. What have you seen from the defensive line and how they rushed the passer and stopped the run?
Go ahead.
Well, I think one thing we've noticed on film is, the interior of the defensive line, they have really good interior guys, and they try to use those guys to kind of, kind of clog up the middle or kind of stop the middle. And then on the outside, they have guys that are, really athletic, and they got guys that, those are the guys that can, run around and, make plays and make tackles. They allow them to use their team speed really well. And I think that's kind of, from the film study, I've had, that's probably the biggest thing I've noticed from them.
Yeah, same as Cam. They're I think they average about 320 on the defensive front. They're going to be a real challenge for us to move off the ball, and we have to bring our A game.
All right, time for one final question. Anybody else? Last chance. All right, thanks, gentlemen.